Hello and welcome to Cuesta Sports Monthly, an in-depth look at Cuesta College athletics. I'm Peter Schuler, and on this month, we'll look at track and field, swimming, and then just before we go, we'll do a quick wrap-up of the season in sports. Joining us first here at Cuesta Sports Monthly, from the aquatics team, Megan Miller and Matt McDonald. Matt, Megan, welcome to Cuesta Sports Monthly. Welcome back, Matt.
Thank you.
You guys are heading towards the end of the season. You have conference coming up. Both of you guys in your sophomore year and were at state last year. What's kind of been different for you this year? We'll start with Megan.
Well, this year, more experience with like the workouts is probably the biggest thing. Like coming out of high school, we had like 3,000 meters, probably most, or yards per practice, and this time it's like 7,000 when we first open up. So it's like I was more used to it for this year, like ready for all the yards we're gonna swim.
Now Templeton didn't have much of a swim team. You didn't have a pool there.
Yeah.
So kind of what was it like having to swim for Templeton High School up, local high school, but not on campus, and how did that team work out for you?
Well, I mean, we all just kind of like knew each other, grew up together, so like we all traveled together. Like it felt like we were all a team, even though it wasn't on like the high school's location and stuff. So, I mean, it was definitely high school swimming, like shorter practices. Like we didn't have any over the weekend like swims or anything, so it was still fun.
And a lot of those your teammates from Templeton actually came here and swam with you at Cuesta. I think there's still there's 4 of you on the team this year, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So it's fun.
So you feel that the second year you've kind of become a stronger swimmer right now?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely like in better shape for swimming, I'd say. And just, I mean, I'm not doing it, my times aren't as fast, but hopefully they'll get there. So
You just had 2 team season bests last week, so
yeah.
I think we're creeping up there.
Yeah.
How about for you, Matt? You had a pretty great last season, but then you kind of got dinged up towards the end of the year. How have you changed things and for this year?
I'm definitely more focused on like recovery after practice and like heating and like getting the rapid release therapy and then icing
taking
after.
advantage of the athletic trainers.
Exactly. And then I definitely feel like I'm like know more what to expect like during practice and like for the meet schedule. Last year I guess I was like a little unprepared.
Okay, I mean, and you still had some great times. You feel like you're stronger this year than last year?
Not yet, but conference next week, hopefully I'll be there.
You're gonna hit your taper just right.
Yeah.
Now you're still concentrating mostly on the IMs. Are you moving back into some of the butterflies and?
Definitely just 2 IM, 4 AM, and then 2 fly. Yeah.
Okay. Now both of you guys do swim the individual medleys, and did you feel that kind of helps you train just having those different strokes, or how?
Well, basically we like have the same workout with everyone else, and then if we want to work on an individual stroke like for our IMs, then we do. But otherwise it's not like, oh, your IM, you're training every single stroke the entire practice, like you just kind of do what everyone else does and hope that it works for you, kind of.
So, but for you, you're probably your secondary stroke, if you're just going to go individually, would be a backstroke.
Yeah.
Right? And then with you, it would probably be butterfly? Or?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so are you a butterflyer that's good at everything else, or are you just, or you feel you're kind of good across the board?
I think I'm just okay at all of them, yeah.
And you?
I don't know. I honestly say my best stroke is freestyle, but I don't know. I get along pretty well with all the rest of them, so put them together, and I guess I got a good race.
Now your freshman year, you came out for the water polo team and had a pretty successful season.
Yeah.
This year, you decided you were going to take it time to just build on your swimming. Did you guys train a lot together in the fall? Or
I didn't train at all in the fall. I was doing physical therapy for the shoulder still.
All right. Well, at least you're back now.
Yeah.
And so you were training in a way.
I guess.
Now,
yeah.
How about you, Megan? Did you feel that you got your mileage in that you needed to get in?
I probably could have done more. I did like a swim class with Furman, and so got it 2 times a week in the pool.
Now, Coach Furman, Rich Furman, who used to coach at Cal Poly, now at Cuesta. He's been kind of the guy who's been your stroke guru and everything like that the last couple of years.
Yeah.
A little bit like what it's like working with a guy who's been at that level at the Cal Poly Division I.
Well, he definitely has a lot of experience with like getting us into the peak of the season shape, and definitely like when we need to start tapering or like how we need to prepare for meets. It's really, he has a lot of knowledge in that area, so it's really cool to have him at the pool.
Now with conference coming up, state coming up, do you guys have any personal goals, or I want to get there, or what?
Make state. That's
any,
my goal.
Any particular event, or are you just?
I'm definitely aiming for the 400 IM, and then hopefully if 200 IM and 200 fly fall in there, then that'll turn out good.
You ever check out the Cuesta top 10 records to see where you are on those? I know you're climbing up the 400 IM. So
that's the only one I know about. Yeah.
How about you, Megan?
Yeah. Actually, this year I've been like aiming for the 200 free. The top time is like a 1:55, so I don't know if I'll reach that, but like definitely want to get up there this year in the 200 free. So hoping for that.
Now you two were both had an opportunity to go to state last year. As kind of the sophomores and most accomplished swimmers are coming back into the season, do you is there some kind of leadership that you feel that you take with the team, or is it just still kind of an individual thing out there?
I definitely think like the freshman swimmers ask like a lot of questions about like what goes on like in terms of like practice and like meets and like stayaways, and yeah, it's nice like being able to actually like help them out and like let them know what's going on.
So you're the big mentor.
I guess so.
Captain.
Yeah.
How about you, Megan?
I don't know. I have like there's me and Taylor and Tegan and Laura. They're all returning with me, and Katie White actually, who redshirted last year, and like. So I don't think they specifically come to me, they just come to us in general, but like if they have any questions I'll answer them, but like there's not very many freshman girls for this year, so there's not many little ones I can mentor really, but I wish I could.
Now you're a local student who's been here, and what are those kind of the things that you've liked about Cuesta College coming here just from over the grade as a student here? I know this is our Miller trifecta because your sister swam for us and was on the show, and your dad's a baseball coach, and he's been on the show. So it's just kind of, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm following in my like sister's footsteps, and I'm like, Dad works here, so might as well go to Cuesta. But also, I love the area, just like college town vibe, next to the beach, and it's really pretty everywhere. So like, it's not bad to go to Cuesta, even though it's 30 minutes away from my house. Like, I don't mind it at all. So.
Now, do you have plans, kind of looking around for next year, swimming next year, or coming back for water polo?
Actually, I don't really know what the plan is. I
no pressure on that one. Just
I do. I think I'm going to be here next year for sure. Don't know if it's going to be 1 or 2 semesters. So we'll just see how like the whole like maybe red shirt swim or possibly do water polo. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, you did have a pretty good swim season at making state last year after playing water polo. So
yeah. That's a good point.
Like I heard the coach would like to have you out there. How about you, Matt? What do you have planned for next year?
Depending on how the rest of the season goes, I might continue swimming. But if this is the end of the season for me, then it might be just it.
Now you're
I'll be here next year.
Now you're from out of the area. Was that one of the things? What was one of the things that brought you to Cuesta? With people like Megan who just grew up here.
I just definitely knew I didn't want to live at home anymore, but I also wanted to keep swimming. And my older brother just graduated from Cal Poly, and he suggested that I go to Cuesta to swim.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank you, Matt, Megan, for joining us here, and good luck the rest of the way, and hopefully we'll get you at the state meet. So that does it for swimming here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. I'm Peter Schuler, and when we return, we'll have a moment to talk with our track and field program.
Cuesta.edu. Television, radio, broadcast, communications. Explore the world of digital communication and tap into your creative genius. Television, radio, broadcast, communications.
This is your boy, the DUI, and you're listening to KGUR.org.
Your digital future is at Cuesta College right now. Log on to Cuesta.edu now for enrollment dates and class information.
Don't get the boom in this shot. Blowing it, bro.
Cuesta.edu.
Hello and welcome back to Cuesta Sports Monthly. I'm Peter Schuler, and this segment we will be talking to track and field as they get ready for the Western State Conference and on to the 3CAA California Community College Athletic Association Regional and State Champions. Joining me today is decathlete Aaron Cheek and hurdler Gwen Lundy. Gwen, Aaron, welcome to Cuesta Sports Monthly.
Thanks for having us.
You guys are getting right to the cusp of the end of the season here, mid-April. You just finished the regional qualifications for decathlon. Second place. How are you feeling about your chances as you move on?
Good, yeah. Just overcoming a few injuries and trying to stay healthy as much as possible, leading into finals season.
So last year you set the school record within decathlon and finished 5th in the state. Right now your point total is 3rd in the state, but you have been coming off some injuries with your hamstring. You feel pretty confident as you improve your health to get there?
Yeah, totally. I think just a lot of going over technical stuff and staying healthy and making sure keeping the strength up, in the weight room, moving into the next couple of meets. So just basically just trying to stay fit as much as possible and it'll come together. So.
Now, is there anything you're working on particularly? Or here's the question. I guess it is: are you a runner who's good at track events, or a track athlete, or a field athlete who's good at running?
Yeah, that's a great question. Usually decathletes will have an answer to that. I mean, some don't. I don't have an answer to that. I'm more just kind of across the board. Everything's okay. So I'm not especially good. I'm okay in javelin and the 15. Other than that, things are kind of level across the board, which is good. I'm not hindering myself too much in one area and then doing really well in another, which is good to be consistent across the board. So that's kind of where I sit as a decathlete.
Yeah, it seems as some of the state hurdlers or decathletes, the hurdle is where you kind of jump ahead of them a little bit.
Yeah.
And speaking of hurdles, Gwen, you're a hurdler right now. You're a 400 hurdler.
Yes.
You've got your first three meets under your belt. Already moved up to number 8 all time at Cuesta in the event. How are you feeling right now coming out of basketball and getting over it?
Coming out of basketball and my surgery, I'm actually feeling a lot stronger with lifting and just being able to run every day. I feel a lot stronger as an athlete and am improving.
Now, what was the thing that got you into hurdles? Why did you say, that's my event?
Because I went out for track my freshman year and didn't know what I wanted to do. And the coaches were like, okay, go run 2 laps on the track. And I was dying after that. And they were like, yeah, no, you're not a distance runner. So then they put me on the track and we just started hurdles because I have long legs.
Yeah, throw someone in front of you, you step right over it, right? Now, you also did high jump in high school. Are you kind of just easing into the track season this season, just staying with hurdles, or you have some hopes to go back into that?
No.
No?
No. They realized, they're like, oh, she can't jump. And I was like, no, I can't. Sorry. So I haven't high jumped since
That would help in basketball,
though.
That would also help in basketball.
It would. So maybe we'll get back into that.
So, all right. But coming back again to basketball, you came out late for the season because of your injuries. How did that feel? Would that transition help you think, in the track?
It did help me get back on my feet. I was definitely playing scared in basketball just because of that, but being able to just get back out there and use my knee again was able to help me be able to go over hurdle and track now.
So at least you made it back after last year's injury. Last year you had a fantastic end of the year, but one of the things you had last year that you don't really have this year is you had a teammate who was a competitor with you all the way through.
Yeah.
Is it different this year? And you also had we also had a heptathlete with you, so you had a lot of multi-event athletes on the team. Has that changed the way you work out this year?
It's a little bit. A lot of times decathletes and heptathletes will be the last one out of the track, just because you have so many events to work on. So a lot of times I'll be the last one out on the track and there's no one around, which was nice last year having Matt Tyler, who was awesome deck. It was cool having him around to butt heads together and push each other. So it's a little bit of a tempo change, but it's been nice to be able to just kind of zone in and focus on what you're doing. So it's different. I wouldn't say it's better or worse, but it's definitely different.
Now, do you have any personal goals coming into the season?
Yeah, definitely would like to break the record again.
Okay.
Break my previous record.
You're off by 84 points last time.
Yeah. So
we're watching.
Yeah. I think that'd be pretty cool. I feel pretty good after the regional deck being came off of a few injuries, and so I think by the time state meet, I'll be able to hopefully bury that old record and put up a new one. So that'd be really cool.
Now, as a decathlete, you kind of are all over the meet when we have the meets. You're kind of.
Yeah.
What are some of the things like you feel that your versatility helps the team, and how does that project with the team scores going on? You think?
I'd say the biggest scores that I contribute to the team would probably be hurdles, probably javelin, possibly some throws. Just gotta get things together. Still working on those. I know that we don't have any other jumpers, so our coach Loker might have me jump long jump at conference. So I'd say those are probably the biggest contributors I would be to the team.
I know there's a lot of team atmosphere last year, especially after winning the first conference title in school history. But so you may be working pretty hard during conference right there, since you have already qualified for state. So
so that's nice that's kind of behind us. You don't have to worry about trying to get certain marks to qualify for state. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Now, Gwen, you're coming from basketball, and that's the ultimate team sport. They always talk about how it's 5 players kind of working in conjunction together that makes it great. Now you're an individual in an individual sport, and you're pretty much the only long hurdler we have. How does that, going from a team atmosphere out to more of an individualistic thing, and even for you, even more so in one event, how does that work for you? How does that change your motivation and your outlook?
Honestly, it's not that different, because even though track is more individual, it's still such a team sport, because you have all your teammates there cheering for you while it's just you out there racing. And I know I cheer for my teammates when they're out in their race, but I don't know, I feel with the individuality you can also push yourself more. And
Now, next year when you're coming back, we're coming back for both sports, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I will be.
So, and how about you, Aaron? What are your plans for next year?
Still up in there. I know it's late in the season. Talking to a few different schools. Talked to the Cal Poly Jav coach. So that's a possibility. I've been in good contact with the deck coach at UCSB. So it kind of just depends on how the season goes, and making a decision of what would be a better, team, family, and academic place for me. So.
Now, talk a little bit about. I mean, Cuesta has Coach Loker pretty much puts together a pretty good group of coaches.
Yeah.
How does that change with your development here at Cuesta? Were you always going to be a decathlete?
I started training for the decathlon my senior year, but didn't become real till coming to Cuesta. You know what I mean? Not only because of the awesome coaching staff, we have totally qualified people, but I think they're so good at making you confident in your abilities that it also helps you with the mental aspect of going into a meet and knowing I've done this before, how to approach it, doing that kind of stuff. That definitely helps physically and mentally. So the coaching staff has totally done a lot of the preparation for that. So.
All right. Well, I'd like to wish you guys great luck going on to the conference championships and on to the regionals and the state, hopefully. Thank you very much for joining us, and wish the best of track and field. So that does it for track and field here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. I'm Peter Schuler. We'd like to thank Aaron Cheek and Gwen Lundy for joining us. And when we come back, we'll do a quick wrap-up of Cuesta Sports.
Radio, broadcast, communications. Explore the world of digital communication and tap into your creative genius. Television, radio, broadcast, communications.
This is your boy, the DUI, and you're listening to KGUR.org.
Your digital future is at Cuesta College right now. Log on to cuesta.edu now for enrollment dates and class information.
Don't get the boom in the shot. Blown it, bro.
Cuesta.edu.
Hello and welcome back to Cuesta Sports Monthly. I'm Peter Schuler, and this concludes our 8th season of Cuesta Sports Monthly. Our final broadcast will be the Athlete of the Year banquet coming up in early May. So just before we do that, I want to take a few minutes just to wrap up the season. The season opened up great for Cuesta College with 3 state champions in the fall, beginning with men's cross country and Sean McDermott and Travis Stengel both earning All-State. First time that's happened for Cuesta College, and McDermott going all the way to win the state title and lead the men to 10th place at the state championships. On the women's side, for the first time since 1978, one school has swept both state titles, with Miranda Dashian going undefeated for the season to win the 3CAA Women's State Championship in cross country. She led the Cougars to 7th place at the state finals, one of the first times in a few years they've reached the top 10. So 2 standout seasons for cross country with a pair of state champions. And then we moved on to wrestling, where Alex Garcia won the 174-pound division and became the 3rd state champion in the fall season for the Cougars. Then we moved on to water polo, with men's water polo reaching the state playoffs for the 38th consecutive year. The program began in 1979 and has never missed the postseason. Standout All-American Johnny Hartshorn earned All-American honors again, while teammates Chandler Mankins and Trevor Whitsitt joined him on the first team All-Conference. On the women's water polo team, they tied a school record with 24 wins, led by All-State center Daisy Hughes and standout goalie Mia Viss. Also in the fall, a good season for women's volleyball, led by first team All-Conference selection Marin Cracknell, as the Cougars finished 12-10 and 3rd in the conference, while the women's soccer team was 3-13 and led by team MVP Brooke Canepa. So all around a successful fall season for Cuesta, and they moved right on into winter with men's and women's basketball. Men's basketball finished 2nd in the conference, led by sharp-shooting Spaniard Andres Aguado, who were first team All-Conference, and the most versatile player on the team, Noah Saunders, joined him on the first team All-Conference, although the Cougars did fall short of the playoffs this season. On the women's side, Coach Ron Barba was struck with illness and missed almost all of the second half of the season. The team started off 8-2, and it ended up 12-16 on the year. Barba returned for the last few games of the year and helped the Cougars with Gwen Lundy, who joined us today, and Australian standout Madison Collins, who did everything for the team, leading the team in scoring, rebounds, and 2nd in assists, who earned first team All-Conference. Going on right now, baseball and softball are both chasing conference championships. They are both currently in 2nd place. Baseball being led by an outstanding pitching staff of Cody Luther, Casey Rocco, and Connor Davis. They now have the 16th best ERA in the 3CAA, California Community College Athletic Association, and the Cougars are just 1 game out of first place with 5 to play. Cougars are hoping to make it back to the playoffs after making it last season as well. On the softball team is also exactly 1 game out of first place. They are led by 2016 All-Conference pitcher Demi Donnell. Donnell has enjoyed a spectacular career here at Cuesta College. She has set new school records for career wins, strikeouts, and shutouts, and is even as a batter, she ranks 2nd all-time with a .404 career batting average. So a standout season there for Donnell, and the Cougars are hoping to make it back to the playoffs after a 3-year absence. They are led by head coach Jean-Ann Ruck. The rookie coach and former Cuesta College player has got the Cougars right in contention for a conference title and a playoff berth. Today we had an opportunity to talk with the track and field and swim and dive teams. The track and field team is led on the men's side by Aaron Cheek, the all-state decathlete from 2016. Cheek already owns the Cuesta school record and is a favorite to finish in the top 2 or 3, or maybe even win a state title in his event. The men's team will also have thrower Evan Stork and pole vaulter Michael Escobar, who should be in the state running for a title as well, along with Harrier Sean McDermott, who won the state title in cross country. He should be back in the finals for the Sum of the Distance vets and is another favorite to win a state title. On the women's side, Miranda Dashian, the state championship from cross country in the fall, is back and looking to win maybe 1 or 2 state championships on the track. And they also have Gwen Lundy, who joined us here today in the hurdles, and pole vaulter Roxanne Nolan, who should be making big strides here at the state championships. So a very exciting spring coming up, a very successful fall and winter already concluded, and coming up in May, we will have the 2017 Cuesta Athlete of the Year, where we'll celebrate the top athletes from both men's and female sports, as well as the top academics athletes from both men's and women's, and of course the 52nd George Silveria Career Athlete Scholar Athlete Award. All those awards are coming up in early May, so we hope that you can join us for that. I'm Peter Schuler. Once again, thank you for joining us here at Cuesta Sports Monthly. This concludes our edition of Cuesta Sports Monthly, and we hope that you can stay up to date on Cuesta Athletics. Visit the Cuesta Athletic website for more information on all of your favorite Cuesta teams and athletic events. We'd like to thank today's guests, Aaron Cheek, Gwen Lundy, Megan Miller, Matt McDonald, and of course, I'd like to thank the broadcast, television, film, and electronic media class and teacher John Arno. That does it for Cuesta Sports Monthly. We hope to see you next year.